In 1990, official approval was given for the foreign investment in Shanghai's Pudong area. What would be the impact on the BUND across the river, traditionally the city's financial and commercial heart? A series of renovation and restoration projects have helped the BUND adjust to the demands of the 21st century. So, what does the future hold for this iconic stretch of Shanghai waterfront? Find out in the 9th and final part of the BUND.
In the 1950s heyday of Shanghai's reconstruction, the Shanghai Mansions, one of the 3 tallest buildings on the BUND, offered probably the finest view of the Pangpu River. Called the Broadway Mansions when it was first constructed in 1935, the building has now reverted to its original name.
来上海这个政府机构当中有一个重要接待人物，都在上海来，都到18楼来登高看的。那么我到上海来看到了上海的整个的精华。
There was one particular part of the BUND that was a must-see for some people.
70、80年代，很多的谈恋爱的青年男女很喜欢趴在那个外滩的这个堤岸上，在那谈情说爱。
满满的人，整个一条堤岸上面是满满的人，贴得非常非常近，所有的人都面向江水，看不见他们到底是谁，看不见脸。
哦，我也在那里谈过恋爱的，这可能也就是上海特有的或者中国特有的，情人约会都是人碰人的，就是你可能就一搂可能就搂错了那种，就是简直不能想象，但是大家还是沉浸在大家的爱情当中。
And so, the BUND, prosaically built of cement to prevent flooding, paradoxically became the most romantic place in the city. The New York Times once even described the BUND as the most spectacular lover's lane in the world.
唯一的解释就是说，上海是居住空间太小，那个时候上海的人均的居住面积最低曾经达到过4平方米。
谈恋爱你要到各自家里面去，3、4同堂挤在一块很不方便。你要到外面去晃马路吧，警察巡逻看见你们在那儿搂搂抱抱，恐怕有时候有点干预不方便，所以很多人就喜欢在外滩那个地方谈恋爱看风景。
上海的那个空间本来就很小，大家习惯在一个很小的空间里边保持自我，相互尊重，然后个人营造个人的天地，这是一个城市的智慧。 这种情况呢，在一般的欧洲人、美国人是难以想象，只有中国文化做得到这一点，在很紧密的关系当中保持一定的自我，然后呢，相互还有个性，然后还很愉快。
This Lover's Lane mirrored Shanghai's idiosyncrasies.
"受14号台风影响，9月1日，黄浦江最高水位达到5.22米，高出地面2米，超过历史最高纪录。
But a time came when Lover's Lane on the Bund was too dangerous for young people to meet. This time, the dike withstood the rising Huangpu, but still it was considered necessary to draw up a plan to rebuild it.
被市政府列为本市今年第2号重大工程的外滩交通综合改造1期工程建设项目已经确定。
上海外滩防汛墙外移工程今天动工。
For some 20 years, Xin Tonghe had been dreaming of designing a new bund. At last, his chance came.
90年代初、80年代末，这一次是真干了。当时综合改造是几个因素，第一个防汛的问题要提高，不要每年有大水进来。第二个呢，郑和的交通治理，也就是说这个中山东夜路太小了。第三个呢，先解决它的风景，能不能让老百姓在上面能够来看、来参观。
The renovation of the Bund continued until 1993. Its area expanded fivefold, and the dike was raised high enough to keep it safe even in the event of the repeat of the worst flooding in the past 1,000 years. The riverfront promenade along the Bund, designed by Xin Tonghe, became one of the most popular attractions in the city. Meanwhile, the exterior walls of the Bund's buildings were cleaned for the first time in many years. Finally, the Bund was lit up. At first, the lights were turned on only during major holidays. Later, weekends were included. Now, they are turned on every evening.
In 1990, official approval was given for the foreign investment in Shanghai's Pudong New area. What would be the impact on the Bund across the river, traditionally the city's financial and commercial heart? A series of renovation and restoration projects have helped the Bund adjust to the demands of the 21st century. So, what does the future hold for this iconic stretch of Shanghai waterfront? Find out in the 9th and final part of the Bund.
On April the 18th, 1990, the Chinese government announced that the Pudong area of Shanghai would be opened to foreign investment. Before long, several financial institutions, domestic and foreign, had established offices in the area, and an export-oriented, multifunctional modern business development zone began to take shape across the river from the Bund.
1990年以前，上海是一个挺落寞的一个城市啊。因为上海到1949年以后，外滩作为一种金融的功能已经彻底被摘除了。
90年浦东发展改革开放，现在在这个特别是92年的地区国际金融中心之后呀，那么上海才是真正开始改革了。一系列的么子政策措施都是倾向上海的。
With Pudong's development, it was anticipated that the Bund would be restored to its former position as the Wall Street of the East. But if it was to become an international financial centre again, there was something it needed as a matter of priority. its own stock market.
当时的朱镕基市长在海外宣布上海证券交易所年内要开业，那么但是筹备工作呢，进展呢还是差距比较大。我是7月3号正式接任筹备小组组长这个工作的，到最后开业一共才5个多月时间。
The Astor House Hotel stands at the north end of the Garden Bridge close to the BUND. Few people today know that this was where the Shanghai Stock Exchange was born. Wei Wenyuan chose the hotel because of its long 150-year history, during which time it had played host to such celebrities as US President Ulysses S. Grant, scientist Albert Einstein, and comic genius Charlie Chaplin.
过去是上海一个非常高级的舞厅，是上海这个最上流社会聚集的地方。但是这么多年的历史的变迁已经完全陈旧了，但是它的风韵犹在，那个包厢，冥冥之中就感觉这是我要的地方。
On December the 19th, 1990, the People's Republic of China's first stock exchange was officially opened at the Astor House Hotel. The event marked the BUND's return to the glory days of the past. 7 years later, in the autumn of 1997, work got underway to move the Shanghai Stock Exchange to the Lujiazui district of Pudong. At the same time, plans were being drawn up to renovate the old Hong Kong and Shanghai Bank building.
1995年，市政府为支持恢复外滩金融街功能，率先迁出此大楼。经过激烈的竞争，上海浦东发展银行于1996年底成功置换该大楼。
The building was at number 12, and while the bank was having it refurbished, a secret was uncovered after 40 years.
这次改造过程当中呢，是由美国建筑设计有限公司这个张国炎，他是总设计师，他从英国档案馆里面查到有这样一幅画。 但是呢，设计单位提出来以后呢，有很多提出异议，好像从来没听说有这么回事，不相信里面有一幅画。
Even so, great care was taken over stripping the wall.
就是由我们的工人采取这个敲铲的方法，把它逐步剥离一下，然后请这美术学校有关人员呢来修复。
As the layers of lime were peeled away, slowly a vast mosaic mural was revealed. There were 8 paintings in all, depicting the HSBC buildings in 8 cities, including Shanghai, Tokyo, New York, and London. The mural was the work of Italian artisans. Back when the building was opened in 1923, it had been its most spectacular and attractive feature. So why had it been covered up?
我们今年的苏联的舰队到上海来拜访，停了在外滩。
苏联友好访华舰队经过1000多里的航程，21日到达了我国最大的城市上海。双方
那么要接待他。 接待的大地方面部就看中我们的大楼，他们住的好像商业味道太浓了，它上面都是外国景啊，后来就改造了。当时有人嘲笑了，后来那个省长，没有是设计院院长，根本请他来看，他就爬上去看，这么好的东西啊，弄成苦线。 那么后来就用铁把它敷掉。
The Soviet sailors saw a new BUND with socialist characteristics. Little did they suspect, that a priceless work of art was hidden there. It would be 40 years before the murals saw the light of day again.
外滩这样一个完美的轮廓线，有的时候你有意识的想打造，你有的是有意识的请高手来设计，未见得能够设计出来。可是外滩就生出了这么一个非常完美的城市轮廓线，这是城市的空间艺术。因为在西方很多城市啊，不断的更新，你要找到一个完整的20-30年代的这个模型找不到了。可是外滩恰恰是完整的保留了那一段时间。尽管它是西方文化在中国的一个反射，尽管它在很大程度上是移植了欧洲的建筑，但是没有一个欧洲城市是这个样子的。它不同于任何一个真正的欧洲城市，它已经具有了上海的特色。
Hence the popular name for the BUND today, the World Architectural Exposition.
In 1990, official approval was given for the foreign investment in Shanghai's Pudong New area. What would be the impact on the BUND across the river, traditionally the city's financial and commercial heart? A series of renovation and restoration projects have helped the BUND adjust to the demands of the 21st century. So, what does the future hold for this iconic stretch of Shanghai waterfront? Find out in the 9th and final part of the BUND.
In 1995, the building at number 3, where Xing Tonghe worked, was sold to a Singaporean company. Following a major renovation, it was turned into an upmarket complex of restaurants, art galleries, and luxury boutiques. Before long, there was also a change of ownership at numbers 18 and 6. The BUND's re-emergence as a financial centre had ushered in a new era of extravagance.
今天凌晨，延安路高架外滩下匝道正式封闭交通，开始拆除。
On August the 18th, 2007, a major new renovation of the BUND began. Once this project was completed, no further changes to the BUND were planned for the next 50 years.
80年代的改造主要的是为了防汛，交通是趁这个机会解决了。但另外一方面，其实它带来了更大的交通问题，就是因为交通通畅了嘛，所以引来了大量的本来不应该在外滩开的车流。
The economic boom increased the pressure on traffic along the BUND. Pedestrians were sandwiched between the vehicle flow and the reinforced flood control dike. The new renovation, launched in 2007, envisaged the BUND being remodelled into a public space.
每个城市都需要这样一个公共客厅，所以我觉得这一次改造当中有一个重要的目标之一，就是能不能让新改造好的外滩更加体现生态，更多的绿化，更多的体现人性。
Historically, of course, this was the port, so all the direction was facing the older city. One of the differences now is that most of the attention, because it's so spectacular, is looking out over the river and looking at Pudong. But we did not want it just to be a place to look at Pudong.
Professor Alex Krieger with Harvard University is a principal designer of the BUND's riverfront promenade. He drew his inspiration from a picture of the old BUND, in which he identified a close connection between the buildings and the Huangpu River.
The central idea for the entire competition, it wasn't even our idea, was to make sure that that connection could be made more direct again. And that's why the most important idea is actually not about the design of the promenade, but the most important idea is to take most of the traffic away.
The first river bend in Asia no longer existed, and the Wusong Road floodgate bridge gradually disappeared. Now, a steady stream of vehicles crosses underneath the Suzhou River through tunnels. There is only a 4-lane road above ground. The pavement skirting the old buildings will be widened, and the public space will become much larger.
全世界像我们这样把一个功能性的城市基础设施拆掉以后，变成一个公共的生态的城市生活空间，成为90年代以来全世界的一个趋势。很多城市都想这样做，当然由于各种各样的原因，实现的不多。
In his 60s, Xing Tonghe was given the task of drawing up a blueprint for a new Shiliupu wharf on the BUND. The Shiliupu wharf was once the largest wharf in the Far East. Many people who would go on to make an impact on the city, or even the nation, arrived in Shanghai via this wharf. The plan is to rebuild it as a centre for water recreation by the Huangpu River. Xing Tonghe regards the job as the perfect conclusion to his BUND dream. Today there are few wharfs lining the BUND, but even so, Shanghai is getting closer to realising its dream of being an international shipping hub. On December the 10th, 2005, the Yangshan Deepwater Port began operation. Lying just to the south of Shanghai, it allows the very biggest ocean-going vessels access to the city. Today, the BUND is entering a brand new era. On March the 28th, 2010, the BUND reopened to the public after its largest renovation since the founding of the PRC.
Shanghai is at the center of globalizing China in the 19th and early 20th centuries, and the BUND is at the heart of that globalizing China.
外滩是上海的殖民地的辛酸历史的一个见证。
Et pour les Chinois, évidemment, c'était comme une enclave.
They represent an important part of the early 20th century history of the city.
它可以一直提醒中国人，我们的现代公民和现代化是怎么走过来的。
20世纪初，它已经变成了一个符号性的、标志性的地方。
外滩不是一个新的城市群、新的建筑群能够简单替代的东西。
在这里看得到上海的昨天、今天和明天。
我们有一句话叫1000年历史看西安，500年历史看北京，近100年历史看上海。
Shanghai was one of the most cosmopolitan cities of the world.
Shanghai is a place where you can see the world outside China.
所有当时的这摩登文化都在上海。
就像过去一样，上海是一个移民的城市，它能容许各种不同的东西进来。
上海是整个亚太区的一个时尚的引领之地。
它是个冒险天堂，
中西文化交流的窗口。
那又是一个波澜汹涌的上海，
能够让很多人的梦想成真。
这种上海的传奇，出乎很多人想象。
A new light in the Eastern world was coming out.
外滩的未来在外滩的历史，
最终它也应该要成为一个文化的中心。
中国从外滩走向世界，世界从外滩了解。
一旦被创造出来以后，就是一个人类各个民族各个国家的
experimentation is back in Shanghai today.
Because this grand reaction took place.
上海真的是一个理想达成的一个城市。
我认为外滩是越来越好。